What is up, people? Welcome to a new video about the history and evolution of PlayStation controllers. Before getting into the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get started. The Nintendo PlayStation is one of the most famous video games console to never be released. The partnership between Nintendo and Sony broke, and they both decided to part ways, and the console never came out. Later, Sony decided to develop its new console by the name of PlayStation, and for that they came out with the PlayStation 1, and it was quite a great development in gaming during the time. With the console came the first controller named the original PlayStation controller, which had no analogs, and the chairman Ken Kotangi of Sony said that they probably spent as much time on the controller than they did on the consoles. They wanted to create a controller that would feel good in whatever position we were playing, and the controller was not too heavy. Before the official model of PlayStation 1 controller, there were even prototype controllers that resembled the SNES controllers, but they all were just prototypes, and as we know, what was selected by Sony. Later, Sony came out with a PlayStation 1 dual analog controller, which had the same design as the original PlayStation controller, but there were analog sticks introduced, and this was a very major thing in history of gaming, as there was also a button to activate or deactivate the analog, as this new concept was very odd. This was revolutionary implementation in the controllers and the history of gaming. Next, Sony came out with a PlayStation DualShock controller, as this was a dual analog controller that vibrated, and at the time it was a very great technology that killed the PlayStation 1 dual analog controller, and even there were rumors that Nintendo even tried to block Sony from producing such technology, and now the DualShocks have been a part of PlayStation, and the PlayStation DualShock is the most important game controllers ever made because it was very much liked by the fans. Sony then made few new concepts, but then decided on a resembling classic design for the DualShock 2, and one of the major features changed was the pressure sensitive buttons were added, as this gave a whole new experience to the players, mostly in racing games like the Gran Turismo. In E3 2005, PlayStation 3 was revealed and a new controller was introduced, as it was a boomerang shaped controller, which was known as the PlayStation 3 Boomerang. The controller received a large negative reception and was called off. Then Sony decided to switch back to the classic PlayStation controller design, which was known as the 6-axis, and was supposed to offer 6 degrees of motion freedom. And due to ongoing lawsuit at the time, the controller couldn't be shipped with rumble capabilities, means no vibration. The controller did not succeed much by even having wireless play, but the fans missed the rumble, and the new motion controls were not used in many games and were limited. After a rough start to the PlayStation 3 campaign, Sony launched DualShock 3, which returned the rumble effect, and it had a modified battery. PS3 was struggling, but the launch of this controller gave some support to the console. Before the PS4 controllers came the PlayStation Move, and it was a short-sighted design concept. The PlayStation Move was an answer to the Nintendo Wii. It resembled the Wii controller and was focused on motion technology, but it failed as many games were not supported, and it also required PlayStation Eye camera. In 2013, Sony went simple with the DualShock 4, and it resembled the design of classic PlayStation controllers, and there are some major advancements made in it, such as the R2, L2 are made like triggers and has a share button to share gameplays. Also, the controller has a light bar which changes color as per the game, as in GTA 5 when the cops are after you, the light bar changes red and blue. One of the main changes was the touch bar allowing the touch controls, and also now the controller has a built-in speaker, making the gaming experience better and better. The DualShock 4 has two versions, the version 1 and the version 2. The version 1 was the one which originally came out in 2013 with the original PlayStation console, and the version 2 recently came out in 2018, which has an enhanced battery life and has a light bar at the edge of the touch bar, making the gaming experience even more better. After all these success and failures, now in 2020, Sony moved beyond the DualShock line by introducing the DualSense. It welcomes a lot of new features, such as built-in microphone, adaptive triggers, and having a haptic feedback. It feels familiar to the DualShock 4, but it has an all-new experience as it is a radical update. These were all the official and unofficial PlayStation controllers. Which one was your favorite? Tell me in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.